Leaders again line up double file. It's Andrews and Hayes to restart the race. Look at Tim Andrews on the outside trying to hang with Hayes, but Jamie Hayes has some kind of piece that he brought with him here tonight to Nashville.
Well, we talked about it again. It's super good equipment. Brian Vickers, ex-Hendrick car, 110-inch wheelbase car, though. We talked about it. It likes taking kindly to this racetrack. That's real important to be able to get the driver comfortable and make the car turn to the center of the corner. And they've been able to do that with that car.
Jeffrey Earnhardt now making a move. He's moved into third place. He's in that red #1. But this is a guy who's had very limited experience on any kind of a track in any kind of a series. He came right from limited sportsman to this series as a developmental driver for DEI. Again, that's Kerry Earnhardt's son. Grandson of the late Dale Earnhardt.
Spotter.
That's the spotter for Jeffrey Earnhardt you're hearing. And boy, Sean Case, bad luck. He's having to come back down on pit road. There's sparks flying out from under that car. There he comes to the attention of his crew.
Left front tire down on that car, Mike.
Yeah, long night gets even longer.
Jamie Hayes able to keep that car down on the bottom. Just set sail like we talked about. Put the left front tire on that car again. Sean Case at this point looking at the big picture, running for points in this series. Got to get out there and do laps. Try and move up a few positions.
Past halfway is 150 laps to make up the Music City 150 here, and making a move. The 03 of Ruben Pardo, who's now going to battle Andrews for second place. Jamie Hayes is checked out front. There's quite a battle there for second. Andrews in that black #9, and Ruben Pardo, who is out of Mexico, 23-year-old driver. Ran 5 East Coast races last year in this series.
Champion in NASCAR Mexico.
That's Calientes. You say that 5 times.
Not me. That's what you for.
Jeffrey Earnhardt's starting to get racing. You know, this is a young man that has really improved as this season has gone along. That car prepared in the shops of Andy Santera. It is a Dale Earnhardt Incorporated machine. That's a former Dale Earnhardt Jr. Busch Budweiser car, as you can see by that red and black paint scheme on it. They just put different numbers and decals there, but that car is prepared at Andy Santera's shop with Clinton Cram as the crew chief. So there's a partnership with DEI and Santera Motorsports.
Kind of cool. You go to the race shop there, and they got Sean Case's equipment on one side, Jeffrey Earnhardt's stuff on the other side. These teams all work together. They share information, they share knowledge, they share setups, and that's what it takes to be successful in this business, because what Andy Santera knows, he doesn't have a problem sharing it with Clint Cram to make their program run that much better.
Rogelio Lopez running second now. There's Tim Andrews getting passed by the youngster, the 66 car, Chase Austin, the young man that Rusty Wallace selected to be his developmental driver for Rusty Wallace Incorporated.
Battle for 5th right here. These guys are all neck and neck. And again, this is an ex-Rusty Wallace car that he brought from the Penske stable. Stephen Wallace drove it in the ARCA Series, won a few races.
Yeah, Rusty told me that this was one of the best race cars that he ever drove for Roger Penske.
Well, he did. When he left Penske Racing, Roger said, "Is there anything you want, Rusty? Is there anything I can help you with?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "I'd like to have a couple cars." And he said, "Okay, take your pick." And he walked over to his 2 best cars and took them, and Roger just kind of shook his head, so I figured you'd take this too. But he lived up to his name and gave him the race cars, and they've been super good cars for him ever since.
And the other amazing thing is Chase Austin is another one of those youngsters who is just 17 years old. Wow, yep. What a future in front of him.
He does. He started 11th here today, and again, he's up in the top 5, back and forth, currently in 6th. Doing a super job here tonight at Nashville.
Chase Austin's best finish so far this year was an 8th, and that was at Stafford. Woo!
I can tail there a little bit.
They get a little loose there, huh? They did a good job of saving it. Let's go down to Natalie.
One of Chase's main focuses tonight was the handling of the car, and he had this great quote about tires. Be nice to the tires and they'll be nice to you. And Chase Austin was so excited about racing at this track with all the history. He was naming drivers left and right. So you can tell that this Smiley drivers obviously having a little bit of success out there.
Yeah, you know, I think that history is on the minds of all these drivers here today. They know that Richard Petty's won 9 times here, and Cale Yarborough 7 times. And look at him save the race car right here.
Hangs the tail a little bit too far. Sometimes if you pick the throttle up a little early down in the center of the corner and you get down on the throttle, you can get a little bit more momentum off corner exit. You carry a little bit too much speed and it'll hang the tail like that. But a race car driver will get up on that steering wheel and drive it back to the right, kind of dirt track it a little bit and keep it under control. I'm sure Rusty Wallace is watching that saying, whew, thank goodness for that. Rusty's probably taught him a thing or two around here. I'm sure Chase has talked to Rusty a little bit about how to get around this place, and that also helps a ton as a driver going into a track like Nashville.
Dan, we got a new driver in the series this week, Jerry Marquis, but not a new name. This is a guy who was runner-up to the championship in 1997. He replaces Eric Holmes, who was the West Series champion last year, but just did not mesh with that team, and so Marquis has come over with 7 wins in his career in this series, will run the rest of the season, and he has made his way up now into the top 10. Jerry Marquis, known by most people as a modified driver, but he says, I don't care what it is. I just love to race.
Well, he does, but he's the man in modifieds. I mean, if you ever watch open wheel modified racing in the Northeast, Jerry Marquis is the man. I mean, he's the 2000 Series champion in that tour, in the wheel and modified tour. He's got many, many starts in this Busch Series. 6-time NASCAR Pro Stock Division champion. I mean, 4-time NASCAR late model track champion.
He's done it
won
all.
a ton of championships.
Well, he's putting a move right here on Tim Andrews, and that is the battle for 7th place. So Marquis is giving that 35 car a good run. Eric Holmes only had 2 top 10s. One of them was last week, though, where he finished 9th at Thompson.
This team, they're in the building process. Talking to Eric Holmes last week, who was driving his car in Thompson, he said, we're building some new race cars. We have not got them done yet. We're working on some stuff, and this possibly could be one of their new race cars. Not sure if they've got one of them done, but obviously Jerry Marquis is doing a tremendous job.
Now the top 4 have strung out just a little bit. Jamie Hayes, as you watch this battle for 7th place, leads the race. Rogelio Lopez is 2nd. Jeffrey Earnhardt is 3rd. Chase Austin 4th. Has now moved up into the top 5 in the 5th position.
Kerry Earnhardt, son of Kerry Earnhardt, Jeffrey Earnhardt. I get him confused sometimes because I've raced with Kerry Earnhardt in the ARCA Series, in the Busch Series, in the Dash Series. In fact, me and Kerry Earnhardt possibly raced on this track in the NASCAR Goodies Dash Series some time ago. But he's running the outside line there. He's got some rubber down. He's feeling confident. He's able to keep that momentum up on the outside. See, it really shows right here down the straightaway. When you can get up on that outside and keep that extra 50 or 100 RPM wound up, it really helps the driver off corner exit.
We just talked about him breaking into the top 5. There is Richard Gould out of North Brunswick, New Jersey. 32-year-old driver. Ran the season last year, but this year went to the first race of the year at Greenville Pickens, finished 20th. We haven't seen him since. And he comes here tonight at Nashville and has found his way into the top 5 in this race.
What a good feeling for Richard Gould. Again, running 5th right now, doing a tremendous job. We're inside 50 laps flying. Now it's time to maintain that pace and take care of them tires for this last 50. If it goes green, the driver that uses his head the most, takes care of that equipment, will possibly be in victory lane.
Now he's another guy who really cut his teeth in the Northeast in modifieds, but boy, is he giving that 58 car a ride tonight, right into the top 5 in this race. And you see now he's putting a little pressure on Chase Austin. The 1 car there, that is the 3rd place car. So quite a battle there for 3rd, 4th, and 5th from some guys we have not seen in these positions a lot this year.
Again, you know, what kind of evens things up this playing field, we talked about at the beginning of the race, Mike, is none of these drivers have really been on this racetrack. So nobody has the upper leg up on setup or driver, you know, how to drive around this racetrack. A lot of these guys, like I said, probably 95% of them have not been on the track, so there's no big advantage to some of the bigger teams, you know what I'm saying?
Jeffrey Earnhardt does have 3 top 10s this year. He had a 6th at Greenville Pickens, 4th at South Boston, and 4th at Stafford. Caution is out. Caution is out right now. And it looks like John Freeman has broken something. There he is in the 2-car. Freeman out of Mooresville, North Carolina, that Dodge. This is only his 2nd race of the season, and Looks like his night's not going to be a good one. Under caution here at Nashville in the Music City 150.